In this lesson, we're going to write our first program in Java. And the first program, ever since about the mid-70s when the C language was first invented, has been a simple Hello World program to demonstrate that you can get some output from a program. So it's going to take a couple of steps to do that in Java. So the first thing we want to do is load our BlueJ IDE. So here's my icon. I'm just going to double click it. Then we'll give it a moment to load. I'll need to adjust it for my screen when it comes up, so you'll have to bear with me for a second while I do that. So let me fit it into the screen. Normally you won't have to see this step, but I wanted to show you from the beginning this time. In the future, I'll just start with BlueJ open. So what we want to do is we want to create a new project. Programs in BlueJ are based on projects. So we're going to click Project, New Project. Let's call this project Hello World. So let me type that in. Let's put it in a folder. I didn't really navigate here, so you might want to do that first, get it in the right folder. And actually, that's the folder we're going to put it in, so let's do that first. And we're going to call it Hello World. There we go. And it brings up our first screen. First thing we have is a README, and we don't need to look at that. So the first thing we want to do is create a new class. And we'll just call this class Hello and click OK. And now we have the class icon showing up here on the screen. What we'd like to do with that is open the editor so that we can begin typing in our program. So we're going to right click, I'll do that again, select Open Editor. Let me fix that where you can see it. There we go. And you'll see you've got a lot of clutter here, and we're not going to spend any time worrying about that for right now. All right. In fact, we can just delete all that. So I'm just going to highlight it, and I'm going to hit the delete key, and now it's all gone. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create what's called a public static void main, or a main method. And we're going to go into a lot more detail about what all these things are as we go through the course. But for right now, just understand that we create our class, we can delete all the insides of that, and then we can write public static void main. And notice I added a curly brace on the second line and a closing curly brace. I'll talk more about those later, but what those mean that we are writing a method body, the definition of a method, and the method body has to go inside curly braces, an open and closed curly brace. So now we're going to type a couple of things. System, notice I capitalized the S, that's important. And then the word out after the period, followed by print ln, and then an open parenthesis. And then we're going to type in quotes, hello world, and then close the parenthesis, and then add a semicolon. What we're doing is we're telling Java to display the phrase hello world to our output, to what's called the system output. Sometimes you'll hear it referred to as standard output. System.out just means the standard output for that particular device, which is going to be our screen. Print line is a function that says print whatever is inside the parentheses, in this case a phrase or a string, hello world, followed by a new line, that's the ln, so that the cursor, after it prints hello world, will move down to the second line. So what we want to do after we've written that is we want to compile it and check for errors. So I hit the compile button, and you notice it compiled very quickly. And it says no syntax errors, and we'll talk later about what syntax errors are. So at this point, we can close our editor, come up to our class, right-click, select void main, and it actually runs the program. And that's how we're going to run our programs for quite a while in this course. Let's go over that again one more time. In fact, we'll start. We created a new class called hello. We can open it up and look at it again. There it is. We'll discuss all the parts later. Notice that it wrote public class hello, followed by an open and close bracket. Then inside that class definition, we wrote public static void main. Now, some systems would ask you to put an argument or some more things in here. You might have seen this before. Some compilers want you to type that, and some other tutorials would ask you to add that to your main method, but you don't have to have it, and I'm going to leave it out for now just to make things simple. So inside public static void main, and later on I'll explain what all those different terms mean, we had an open bracket and a closed bracket, curly brace, followed by the statement system.out.println hello world, semicolon. All statements in Java have to end in a semicolon. That's very important. Then we compiled it. Down here at the bottom, you can see your little output. Class compiled, no syntax errors. That means it compiled correctly. We close the editor, right-click, and just select the main method to run the program, and it displays the output. Notice we have hello world again because I've actually run this program twice. So that is how you enter and run a program in Java. So that's going to conclude this lesson, and in the next lesson we're going to talk about how to modify this program, and we'll maybe even look at a couple of errors just to see how syntax errors come up.